twice.
So I
got it for free because it would work. No, I just booked. I hit Marriott hotels, and it was the only one that had availability.
Yeah, so the Marriott.
6 miles away or something. It was bullshit because like 6 miles is crow flies. Yeah. Actually, I forgot that Marriott does that. But if you want to go to a really swanky hotel that smells like foo-foo and you stub your toes on the friggin' Scandinavian beds, that's the place you want to go. Let me tell you something. That place you would take a woman on the first weekend out of town. Because basically you pull like the glass together and that forms the bathroom door.
Nice.
So you would really have to be confident
Thanks for the
that
tip.
you would not.
You're
Love her out of her room. You're like, listen, I'm gonna go down to the gym and work out for a little while.
Anyway, all right. I just want to do a little program for BMac. But you guys stay awake. BMac. What's interesting about this gathering that has happened, it's been in the making for 38 years, and we've had a chance to all come together, is that what's interesting about it is how it started. And, Sean, Brian, I went to Catholic school. He's a preacher's kid. Robbie's deacon in the church or something.
I don't know if I'm a deacon in the church, but
It's 40 shoulder pork roast for the church. So. And Jahowski's
Just want to state me, I'm gonna try to say for 38 years.
Jahowski's a man of faith too. But I think what's awesome is that I think this reunion that we're having right here was probably designed back in 1983 in terms of the pieces coming together. And what it represents is a significant impact that relationships were developed in Saudi Arabia. And when you look at how it was formed, I came from Detroit, he came from Louisville, Florida, upstate New York, Tennessee, and Indiana.
Really.
And we all just happened to meet in this little dusty country at that time. It was probably not as built as it is now, but certainly Dhahran was the stepchild of Riyadh and Jeddah in terms of development. It's kind of like Vegas before Vegas became Vegas, right?
It's Reno.
Reno. and so got this big planet. At that time, it was probably 3.5 billion people, 4 billion maybe, and we all just happened to meet in this little kingdom that just became a country like 40 years ago, after World War II, right?
Yeah.
And so we're there. We play sports, and sports is the one interaction that forms the strongest bonds. I saw that in psychology today. There's something about playing sports with people that makes not only the relationships good, but deep. And so we all play sports together, either in 8th and 9th grade or in high school. And what that does is it created a kinship that has lasted 38 plus years. And you know it's deep because I haven't seen this guy in 38 years. I haven't seen this guy in 38 years. He comes to Detroit from northern Michigan, picks me up. We're on a road trip. We go to Indiana to visit his sister, hang out for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then we shoot down to Cincinnati to see B and everybody else. And I think that is real significant. But it couldn't happen to a guy more deserving because this dude right here, he would tell me stuff about friendship, and I thought he was insane. And what he would do was, this guy would do road trips. Was it in high school, right? You would get your dad's Jag and drive to the East Coast. I'm like, who does that? And I think that is a gift that Brian shared with me about not only being friends, but also putting time into the friendship. And it's easy to be friends when we're just have to live in a compound together, or our dads are stationed or assigned to Saudi Arabia. But when you're able to kind of have to put energy behind the friendship, and I saw that back in probably, I don't know, it was 88 maybe, whenever we did that road trip to New Jersey and visited me. 87? Yeah, this dude did that. I was like, I had never heard of that. And now we're doing it because we've done it for high school reunions and stuff, and so so that was one thing Brian taught me about friendship is putting the time to go with it. And the other thing about this friendship is, I told Coach T, is that it's like I took a nap in 1983, and now I woke up and it's 2021, and it's like you just pick up where you left off. And that is incredible. I think it's also significant. Now I did start a fraternity, but I didn't finish it. I was in the early stages, and one of the reasons I didn't finish my fraternity pursuit was I got a fraternity called Dhahran, NDI, and so I think this friendship is special for that reason. But I wanted to certainly let Brian know that, but also to go around and if maybe folks could share with what they think about the friendship that we had, and to some degree, Brian is the center of that friendship. And so, and I also told Coach T that it is very rare that you want to hang out with your former teachers. It just doesn't happen much, you know. And
Probably him not wanting to hang out with us.
well, I mean, so it's both, right? So I mean, who has their coach from 38 years ago at a table cracking jokes, and then who has a coach that wants to be with his former players and the opposition?
And the
The
opposite.
enemy.
I really didn't want the opposition,
So,
but he's okay.
okay. So I'll start with Coach, and
This is definitely
Coach
helpful.
can put into his words what this gathering means to you, and you can compare it to your other experiences with your former students and players.
Wow. Well, first of all, one of the things that happens when you're a teacher and a coach is that in some ways, the people that you work with earliest in your career, and the ones you work at the very end are the ones you remember the most. You know, and you were early in my career, and so Dhahran was such a unique and in many ways wonderful, even though difficult in many ways too. It was just such a wonderful place. I'd just like to echo some things that I heard Curtis say. You know, I think that we are here on Earth. Sorry, but I might not get through this well. I think we're here on Earth to love each other. I think that's our purpose. I believe that God made us to love each other. And there's lots of stuff that comes up after those two sentences that, you know, we might debate about whatever. But that's the very beginning. That's the very most central part and idea. And that's why I wanted to come here. That's why I wanted to see you. And I genuinely do feel that towards all of you except Sean. And I also want to echo that I think that, Brian, one of your contributions to this is that you've always been somebody that people apparently enjoy giving a hard time, you know, about your lack of vertical and of the other things that they all chose to talk about, your characteristics. And the other thing that Curtis said that I absolutely agree with is that you're somebody who really has exemplified, at least for this group and us being here, reaching out. You're the one who did more reaching out maybe than the rest of us, and to kind of cause this to happen, and that's very much to your credit. I deeply appreciate each of you and who you are and your abilities, and I'm just fascinated by your lives and the things that you've accomplished. So that's it for me.
All right.
Well, it has been a journey, and for me for Brian to pursue for all those years, I mean, wow. I mean, I would have thought nobody's thinking about me.
He was talking about you a lot.
Worry about it. I mean, you get busy with life and you're moving on, and I get that text. Is this Bobby Thomas from Dhahran? Like, yes, it is. And I was like, blown away. And I couldn't wait to talk to him, talk to you guys, and get that. Yeah, the catalyst, the communicator, the follower, the pursuer. You were all of those things. And I not to give up or give in or anything. It's just goes to show your character, tenacity, and what friendship means to you and love means to you is never forgetting or forgetting. Just moving forward with that and always doing that. And you know, just we're these jockey teenage boys that came together and at the time playing sports and living life in that time and sharing with one another our fears and our successes and what was going bad and well and between school and girls and basketball and whatever we were playing, and just that bond that we all made at that time. We won together, we lost together, but it was always as a team. And when we had a personal triumph, it was as a team, you know, like, or something was going well, we all hurt for one another.
All right.
So, you know, and I echo what Coach T said, is if we have one thing, is to love each other on this life. And you know, we can look at successes in many different ways, but you know, at the end of the day, who's your friends and who you're with, and who comes and who doesn't. And I'm just blown away by the outpouring that you've shown and people are showing you. It's a testament to you.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm doing anything.
Okay.
Well, it's definitely an honor to be here this weekend, I'll tell you that. And to be amongst you guys and names that I've heard for a long time, and we haven't seen each other in almost 40 years. And Brian, I mean, we lost contact for about 17 or so years after NDI, thereabouts. And I was keeping in touch with some of the guys, and we hadn't gotten into the reunion stuff, and then we just hit it off all over again, right? And with Curtis as well. And the best part about it was, for me, and how fortunate that was how much I could tell that you guys cared about our brotherhood. You know, because you didn't know who cared and who. I have a lot of good friends that I made at NDI to this day that you can tell that it's not deep rooted into them. That experience, whether it was Dhahran or Jeddah or Notre Dame. And you're right about the fraternity thing. So I was in a fraternity at UF, and it wasn't the same. I already had my fraternity. I just did it because the beer was free, you know. So but you have been a lot of the glue to all this over the years, and that's what's been so awesome. And again, like I said, I feel honored to be your friend and amongst friends, and I'm going to be thinking about this for years. You know how awesome it was seeing you guys, and so thank you, and Curtis, thanks for communicating with me and letting me know, figure out when we can get up here and see our boy. Yep. And of course, you know, poke fun and the usual. I mean, we pick up where we leave off, and I probably would have said something quippy already. I'm actually surprised I went this long. So, but you are my brother from another mother, you know, and you guys are a special part of my life, and you can't take that away. You know, these are things that the love. These are the important things. You know, so again, just honored to be here.
Yeah.
You know, given the extra time really hasn't helped. Going last isn't really a good thing right now. I remember the first time I met Brian. We were in the gym. It was right after school started in the late summer and the fall. The basketball hoops were off to the side, and there were volleyballs and stuff out there. And you were trying to dunk a basketball.
The volleyball, right?
The volleyball, trying to dunk the volleyball. And I was trying to dunk the volleyball too, and I jumped up and I almost hit the rim with the ball in my hand. And Brian, I'm like, was I close? He's like, yeah, no. And you know, we were all about 5'5", and you know, Brian had these feet that I remember, like a tree with really, really long, thick branches, these giant size 14 shoes. And Brian was 5'5" standing, but 6'2" on his tippy toes. And I remember him jumping up, and I'm thinking, man, this guy can jump. And, you know, I think we just kind of clicked right away. And, you know, as guy said, you know, you were the glue that held a lot of this together. And, you know, the friends are the family that we get to choose for ourselves. And I think of you guys as my family, and honored to be part of it. I think it's great that we've been able to stay in touch. I know there's been times that we caught up when I was in when we were both in college, and then we lost connection there for a while, and we hooked up again at the Cracker Barrel. I was telling these guys last night, the time you came down to Sarasota to see your aunt and uncle, and and it's like we had picked right back up again. We were a couple of 14-year-old boys in the restaurant, mainly me, making an ass of myself, and just laughing and having a good time, and then coming up later in life when we had kids, and then going, we were able to go bring our kids to Tennessee one summer for the cabin, and just having a lot of fun, and just going from young boys to wild ass kids to men and fathers, and it's been a great transformation to be part of it throughout the years, and someone who I could count on to be brutally honest, and be happy to tell me how much of an ass I've been, and that I wasn't even worthy of getting one of the awards that I did back in Dhahran Academy. I mean, Brian was very caring, right? He said they made up an award for me, the best volleyball player. I mean, I couldn't even touch the bottom of the net. Yeah, that's all I got. Center defense. I could move my feet. I had no game. But then as we got older, and it's been good. I mean, we're my family, and I'm happy you guys are part of my life, and you better get better.
Mm-hmm.
I told you I'd come back here and kick your ass. That's the only chance I got.
That's right.
I love you, BMac. I love you guys.
Am I supposed to say that?
Not yet. And then I also want to say, Tina doesn't like to be on camera, so you can just get my voice when I talk. You don't have to focus on her. But I just am so appreciative of Tina because I'm glad that Ryan married her. Yeah. 'Cause I remember when he first went on the date.
How did that happen?
Oh, let me tell you my version. So he says, Kurt, I think he told me afterwards because he had been dating. So Tina, the one before you, it's hilarious. So he goes on a date with a chick. She said, Brian, this is not gonna work, but can I order some food for my kids? Take back.
You can't make that
He's
up.
like, what? Go ahead. So she orders a couple burgers. Come on. This chick ordered to go. She said it wasn't gonna work out, and I fed her whole family. I was cracking up. But that was perfect because then Tina came, and it was the epitome of class, sincerity, genuineness, beauty, and just nice, and a soft voice. And so I think that one before made it abundantly clear that you were everything that person wasn't. And he's like, dude, I met this great lady. And she hasn't dated much. So, and he's like, I was like, okay. And next thing you know, they got married. And we knew the marriage would last 2 years. We knew that. Because then we went to Saudi Arabia, as soon as we got married. Yeah, 24-month contract. No, I'm teasing. But I say that to say that Tina has opened up her house, always been friendly for visitors, but especially now, and has just been so supportive of BMac by being supportive of his friends. And it's just been like, you guys have a bond, you're friends, and I just want to be a conduit for that friendship. And so for that, I'm just so grateful for Tina. Because look, sometimes, and Jahowski can probably tell you that some wives are like jealous. They don't want all the husband's friends there because they feel like the husband may like their old friends more than they like them. And it's a tense and unfriendly environment, but that is actually what never happened here. It's always been a house of, I told Tina, I said, Tina, your house is a house of peace, joy, and love. And it's not just with your family, but it's also with your husband's friends. And so you've always been gracious and generous. And so for that, I appreciate you letting us sit here and tell lies. It's 1 o'clock.
I remember the first time I met her in person. We were all at the pool down in Vero Beach, and I asked her. I think the first thing I said to her was, "Can you see okay? Do you have vision problems?"
What's wrong with you?
And Brian said something like about out kicking the punt coverage or something. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. But I remember Brian telling me, because for my ill-fated second voyage, they came down to support me when I married Satan's mistress on the beach when it was like 140 degrees outside and everybody was dying. But then later on after that went to crap when Brian was there to listen to me, you know. He told me something really important, that one day I'd find the right woman and know what love was. And I think I've gotten that now. You know, but you could have turned me. I would have gone for you.
Sometimes you have to make tough choices.
You did. But yeah, Brian, he's one of those guys. He's always there for you. He's happy to hear you. He's happy to talk to you on the phone, and yeah, just never gave up on any of us, man. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, and I hate to cut this short. I really do, but I gotta go upstairs. But I'll say this. I appreciate everything you all said, and I think that for me, it's always been about filling in the absences of your life. I didn't have a brother. You know, I had an experience of moving around and being able to kind of adopt those missing pieces. And you know, I didn't know it was happening the way it was, but for me it was something I think goes back to my friends from Louisville. They were so supportive of me. You gotta remember, I was, you know, this kid that just was filling in these. That's a big part of, you know, you make mistakes in life, and when people forgive you, you're able to keep filling, you know, I don't know if that's appropriate, but it's the way I look at it. So as I went through life, it was always about, you know, oh, I'm keeping this dude. Oh, this is a fantastic coach. And you were, because you weren't just a coach. You were beyond that. That was the thing. I knew I could come to you for something if I, you know, hey, you know, I need to talk to you. You know, you were, I was kind of jealous of you at a period of time, because for me, there were things about you that I was never going to be. So I was allowed to enjoy who you were. And then this guy, we're enemies. And I hate playing against an opponent. I don't like you. But we got along like it was instantaneous. I recall meeting you somewhere else for the first time. So my version's different. I'm just clearing my throat. I'm not going to get into the whole detail, but it was funny because she walked up to a table I had been invited to by these girls. I was invited, and here comes Dave Jahowski up to the lunch table, and just in front of all these people, what you doing? Looks around. You enjoying yourself? And I'm like, could you embarrass me anymore? I got invited to sit next to this, you know. And the funny thing was, is it was innocent. It wasn't like there was nobody, you know, trying to, hey Brian, let's go out on a date because it's Saudi Arabia. You can't date. You know, so in that format of, you know, regular school. And so, you know, Curtis meeting you for the first time, we talked about that. That was hilarious, because all we did was look down at each other's shoes, and I realized that he was wearing Converse, and I was wearing basketball shoes, and it's all, I said, we're gonna be on the court together. So, it's just been a great experience, and that's kind of what I feel like you're just filling in, not for me. I think some people go in and they push people away. So for me, it wasn't that. So I think my parents taught me that too. That was, and I'm not saying my parents didn't give me enough. It's just that it's weird when you're, you know, teenager and you're meeting people for the first time, and it's, you know, you're kind of saying, are we going to be friends or are we not? Because then you have to decide. And sometimes they make the decision. So thank you for accepting me. That's it. I would talk more about my wife, but I have to go. Because I could talk volumes about my wife. She knows that. I've already told her.
Awesome.
So my children, Justin, I mean, so thank you, Curtis. Appreciate it.
Wasn't me. I mean,
No, I'm saying thank you for allowing.
well, this dude drove 4 hours to my house, picked me up. This dude drove and cooked the pork shoulder, and this guy bought an airline ticket, and this guy bought it. Like, boom, boom, we're there, and it just came to fruition. Like
No, I
that.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
And we said a lot, and I think we'll have more to say.
Absolutely better.
So,
Yes,
all right,
sir.
guys, I'm gonna need that.
All right.
Need help?
We're letting it proof right now, the dough.
That's what I thought. I was gonna ask you for proofing it.
I thought you were talking about the whiskey,
Well,
the bourbon.
I'm allowed to do what he does best. Just
Yeah.
a little taste.
Just the tip.
Ooh, just a tip.
Just a tip. You know what that's like.
Good?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Coach?
Yeah, hey,
Hey, you didn't get me on camera, just like his ring shot.
Good Lord.
Brian, they're still saying that's been doctored. They say I actually hit it. They just inserted you.
We actually watched the video again while you were asleep. Robert Jones made that shot. At least that's what he texted us.
Well,
Cheers.
but you want to believe, of all people,
Okay, hold on.
Not been,
Because you take
there's
a
a
good,
gear
like,
clutching
really good
assembly that goes into the
soup pot or
oil.
whatever.
If you get one that's not
if
broken,
it's
you
porous,
buy it.
like you put Dawn
Because
in
they're
it,
cheap,
it's
and then
really
you
forever.
take that out, put the
Like I've had a couple of
aftermarket
coffee
comes
cups out
under
of
the
the
floor.
way where
And then you get
it's
big
been
money.
hand washed.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
not washed in a dishwasher. And I can
Well,
still
we,
taste the soap.
my dad and
like
I
it's like it's built.
we drive
it's
past
it's real.
Is that kind of like cast iron stuff? Is it
Exactly.
when you wash it, you just
Ever.
yeah.
Ever.
in Dhahran.
We've got this
Right.
great
Yeah,
box
just-
that we've been using.
Just
Probably used
east
for
on
20
soup
years.
right it was.
It hasn't seen soap in 20 years.
It
And
was
it's just,
pristine.
It's awesome. You make eggs in it. You make whatever.
I mean, it
I
was
had
just.
her walking. She was
a
doing the whole
beautiful
process of like getting it.
My dad's like, man,
non-stick or whatever. I
that
don't
is
know. And it
unbelievable.
was,
I
like,
went
kind of
in
cool to
one
watch,
day,
like, 'cause it kind of like
asked him how much it
it's
was.
shiny on the inside or something.
Exactly.
I watched a
$8
video of
grand.
it, like, it's so pretty.
It
But
just-
It's called
they're really slowing
Rowe.
down this process.
Right. So, yeah, if you can start slapping dough like this, yeah, you're in. But it's like it's really muscle memory, which is the funny part. You know, every couple 3 years I have to get behind the line with my guys, and they watch me stretch a piece, and they go, "Oh, he does know how to do that." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Like, this is my CIE
I
for
did
the
this as
next
a kid."
day.
And, you know, so. But at first you teach the fingertip. It's just easy. You can't tear the dough. You can't really break the dough, and then just make it wide enough to lay it on the screen. You're good. You're done. So you'll be fine. But yeah, if you elevate the level of greatness,
I mean,
then
I'm
more
just
power
saying,
to
I'm
you.
here to like raise a bar.
You may have to stretch for everybody then.
I mean, no, I work for free.
You are gonna have cornmeal. The dog's hair. They're gonna have cornmeal in their hair. Cornmeal that goes
Everywhere.
I told her get the vacuum cleaner ready.
Yeah,
Yeah, get
I'm
the
not
vacuum.
throwing dough just for that reason.
Right.
I told him I'm not going to help just in case I get Dawn. I'm doing my duty. We talked about it.
That's what I was
Yeah,
wondering. I'm like,
I mean,
do I even know?
it's amazing when we pick
You know,
cornmeal
no
out of the
offense.
restaurant. It just finds a way to make it to the front
No,
of
I
the restaurant.
mean,
I bet everyone is so
Yes,
exfoliated.
you did.
You were hoping it was. Exactly.
no, but you wouldn't.
But,
You wouldn't talk
That's
about
like the best cheese
He was not going to
in
talk about
the country for
Oh,
pizza.
really?
Yeah, it's Grande, it's
I'm like,
it's Wisconsin
oh my
cheese.
gosh.
And the pepperoni is from, that's Buffalo, New York, which is amazing. Margarita pepperoni. This is fontanini sausage from Chicago, which is the best sausage in America. So,
Where's the cheese from?
that's Grande cheese from Wisconsin. That is the best pizza cheese on the market.
Cornmeal from
On
Georgia?
this side of
Cornmeal's from wherever you want it to be from.
Wait, that's cheese on this side of like the aisle, or just in general?
In general, there's no, the pizza, that is the number one mozzarella cheese.
Oh, I couldn't
And this is enough for one pizza?
That's it. Exactly. That's the way I look at it. But yeah, margarita pepperoni from Buffalo,
All right.
or I'm sorry, Izzo pepperoni, and then fontanini sausage from Chicago,
Gotcha.
and then meatballs just per Brian's request. He
For
wanted, I can turn this low. He wanted meatballs. He's getting meatballs.
like spaghetti or something?
No, he can just cut those up. After that sits in that chicken broth for a little while, those are gonna be delicious. Just you can cut them up and put them on the pizza.
Okay. Or
Or you can just have them off the side.
so I finally learned the difference between spaghetti sauce and pasta sauce.
Yeah.
One is cooked and one is not.
That's right.
So which one is cooked?
You cook the marinara regular sauce for
Pasta's already cooked.
Yeah, we actually do cook our pizza sauce.
Okay.
A little bit. We'll let it just simmer a little bit, but for the most part, you don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah. So, because all of it's like these pre-canned tomatoes that are really fresh. So
Are you gonna be like checking to see when they're done?
I will.
Okay.
Yes, and I was just telling you that I'm a little, being that it's in an oven, I'm a little nervous about the baked and the broil, and I'll keep an eye on it. I'll
Is
know-
that a convection oven too? Does convection help?
Yeah, it does.
Focus because
What?
it has a smoker out there, so it's
Oh,
smoking.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about like.
That's out of my favorite. I've never smoked a pizza.
No, I have a parent stepdad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
And
but
the
I
note
was-
said,
and
call me.
other people-
Here's my number. Here's my number.
But he doesn't put the pizza
And
stuff
my
until
dad
he's
saw
done. And he like
gave me
sends
so
pizza
much
that's
shit.
almost raw.
And
And 'cause it looks
so
like
then
it's
I was tempted, but it's
warming up, 'cause that's
an
what
hour
he
and
wants
a
to
half
do.
away from where I
He's
live.
like, I'm like, what is it?
Maybe that gives you a hint.
Okay, that's fine.
But,
You know, I'm like,
I
so
intended
already
to, but
they
I
said
didn't.
like I have him take it out and
She
he
was
just slices
gorgeous.
and puts it in.
And I've never, obviously, I've never
Granted,
done
don't
that.
imagine you have a pizza.
She, but it was
No,
Tennessee
the
at the
stone, the
time.
whole point of the stone is
I mean, there's just so many people,
so that when the pizza hits
you know,
it,
Yeah.
it automatically
hungry and
accelerates.
all.
But stay on the outside.
Stay on the,
Yeah, try
on the outside.
yeah,
On
there
the
you go.
outside. What song is that?
Buffalo girls go around the outside.
Around the outside. Man, I feel like I need to be using a little bit more
Yeah, more
force.
aggressive,
More
yeah.
aggressive?
And
Because
probably
it's just dough, right?
You're doing good. Yeah. So you probably want more,
So I'm gonna,
less in the middle, get it more toward the outside so you can stretch that stuff.
okay, so
Most people last
because I feel like I'm on the outside, but
You're doing
I'm
good.
not.
You're doing good.
Just don't lie.
Again, it's muscle memory.
Just be honest.
It's okay. Listen, you spend about 8 hours a day for about 6 months, you'll have this nailed down.
I think we have our commitment. I'm just trying to get to Italy.
Yeah,
You're doing it.
How about mine?
Oh my god. Okay, can I put more cornmeal on this part?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Bought it at Costco for $40 right there.
Little baby.
Yeah, Tina said more
The
cornmeal.
old.
Do all pizzas have cornmeal?
Frying agents.
Do most pizzas have cornmeal in there?
You just put them in there, boom.
So is this
Yeah,
hand
use
like
flour
the
anymore.
stationary one? Cause okay, I'm having trouble with this side not letting it move. That's my only issue.
Right. So, and what
Right.
happened is you got a little bit of a kind of a knot.
I do. I have a fold.
So you want to get a little bit more aggressive with the
More aggressive?
outside.
I'm getting a rechargeable.
Okay, I got this. I got this.
But yeah, right here you
Yeah,
got a
that's
little
right.
bit of a,
Right.
a
So how do you
knot.
resolve that?
Just keep stretching.
Oh, that's not bad. My sister was telling me that only $5 a piece.
I don't really, I'm enjoying this so much.
I'm having
It's the
such a
greatest-
good
it's the
time. I'm
greatest
almost
thing
a
I've ever
natural.
done.
I'm almost a natural.
I can't imagine you'd get to do this every day.
I mean, it's
Yeah, she got there.
the self-esteem is really coming into tricks here. The only problem is I'm not a strong individual.
So here's the next stage. So
Yeah.
you're done with this, and then you're gonna get some of the cornmeal off of here.
Okay. Wait, is it big enough?
No, not yet.
Okay.
So what you can start doing is start
Yeah.
doing this.
And he gave me
Okay.
your supply.
Like,
That's right. Just start pulling,
Stretch.
and
I
then
feel like-
in a circle.
is it allowed to fold on itself, or should I try to
No,
avoid
you got
that?
You're doing good, but just try to lower, stay closer as you go around.
Like to the outside. The key is the outside.
There you go.
Taking notes. It's the outside. Coach G needs that.
And you're supposed to say, I love you gluten. I love you gluten.
Yeah.
It's all about
See,
the gluten.
It's the years I've been watching Great British Bake Off. It's messing with me.
And they go down, they used to last a little bit longer.
So do you
You got this.
take phone
Let me see your circle right now.
This is my circle.
Yeah,
Let's see your
the
circle.
ones I'm.
It's not bad.
You hire me?
Cool.
I don't know about that.
Hey, I need self-esteem. He's been doing this for a while. Coach, come on, give me some coaching.
There you go. So now, one more time.
One more time.
One more time on here.
We're just realists.
One more time
Right
here.
now, I just broke my Bluetooth.
We're gonna do this and do one more run on the stretching around, and you are golden.
But I'm
Because I have,
Yes.
might not have to wear a device.
See ya.
That's right. There you go. See, you get some.
Oh, look at that.
Sean, did you tell them about the guarantee once they finish this?
What's that?
Husband in 3 months. Husband, you make pizza for him. He'll be so
I'm
smitten.
not in Italy. I'm not looking for a husband right now.
And
it's
guaranteed.
I'm geo-specific.
Well, then you can't make a
if I
pizza.
can't get
If
a
you
passport
date-
to anywhere else.
If you date, don't make a pizza. But if you make a pizza,
Closer together. Hands closer
Oh,
together.
gotcha.
There you go. So that you're
I'm
stretching.
with you. I'm
There
with
you
you.
go.
Curtis is.
I know. He's all.
so distracted.
Curtis has been distracting me for 40 damn years.
He said, "Mayor, my BP went up." Like,
All right. Technically, you're probably about ready.
can I throw it in one time?
Yep. You want to try to throw one time?
Girl.
if it falls in,
I'm okay.
You're,
I'm okay. How do you?
say Opa.
Did you actually?
That's
No,
great.
she was gonna.
I'm no, hey, it's European.
Okay.
I'm ready for my
You're ready for-
screen.
So get your screen right
Yeah.
here. So what you want to do is you do one last little
One last little
run
Okay.
like this,
Okay. Gotcha.
and then you throw it. Just flip it on the screen.
Did you want me to do one right? Or was that? Okay, I didn't know if you were counting that.
There you go.
Or something.
They're trying to help me out.
That's the brand.
See, it's-
that they're-
Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know
It's like
anything,
butter.
I don't know much about them.
Yeah, I don't know anything
See,
about
now
it.
you have a
That's
muscle
it.
memory.
It's the one that goes over and
All right.
it's gonna
Not
give like
athletic,
a colored back.
Yeah,
No more stretching.
More
You're
like-
doing
More
great.
stretching?
No more stretching.
Okay.
Receivers in the, Rick, no receiver in the canal.
I need to know.
That's right. And then all you do is shape it around the edge.
Oh, she's so pretty.
And she's ready for
Oh,
sauce.
we need some docking. What are you talking about sauce?
You got
we
to
need to
dock.
dock it.
Yeah, you dock.
What does that do?
Gets the bubbles out of the dough.
You weren't paying attention when he was teaching.
And you can be aggressive with the docker too, back and forth, back and forth. There you go.
What's the importance of getting the bubbles out?
They'll blow up during the cooking process,
burn.
and the toppings will settle in other places, and you want it to be as uniform as
So
possible.
those Italian pizzas have bubbles in them.
Some will, yeah, if they don't dough dock. But if you make the dough right, usually they don't bubble up too bad.
Okay.
All right, so
So
you're
you're saying I
ready.
didn't make it right?
You did great. You did great. All right, so now,
You have 30 days.
so sauce, and you know how to, I mean, basically, and I use this.
You're labeling middle and then you
You got, that's exactly right. I'm gonna let you do that, 'cause that's half the fun.
It's half the fun.
Yes.
I'll probably still mess it up. I've never been very artistic. Is that fine?
That's probably enough sauce for the whole pizza too, you'll see. And you go in circles. Here you go.
Oh, it's wow.
Oh, she may have a job after all. Don't go too towards the edge.
I just want a
Yeah.
little bit of symmetry.
There you go.
I'm a little variation.
You're good. No, no, this is
in my
good.
crust.
So, you know, that's like your see.
Hell yeah, brother.
Look at that.
All right.
All right, now you got your grande cheese. So you gotta come over here.
Low price thing, and then there's some that are what they
This
call
is the real good stuff. This is the Wisconsin stuff. So
Right.
It's a cooking show.
put on what you want.
Chef Sean.
That's just
Chef
For
Sean.
me, these just work, and that's why.
No, Chef Sean is friends with Victor Maitland.
Yeah.
With who?
Victor Maitland.
You know, I'm looking for Victor Maitland. Tell him Ramon has Herpling Simplex 10.
And they were fine. I mean, I didn't care as long as they were.
That sound right?
Is this enough
Chef
cheese?
Sean is friends with Victor Maitland.
They would fill up your whole.
Where's
So,
more?
no, keep going. There's
Never enough cheese. Well, I just didn't want to use like the, you know, that.
We have
'cause
plenty of
Curtis
cheese.
has psyched me out about how much cheese we have in here.
No, we have plenty of cheese here.
It's kind of so commonplace. There's more people that should be wearing here.
So, yeah, and this is great pizza cheese in the sense that it stretches when you cook it.
Right.
So that's probably what we would put on a normal amount that we would sell to a consumer. So if you want more,
Small amount.
it just it spreads really nicely.
Yeah, okay.
Oh
I'm
my God,
happy.
this silicone, this was brilliant.
Tina's great.
That was brilliant.
What, this right here?
This to stop the
Your
spinning.
dad.
Yeah.
And I'm ugly too. Oh, we've been.
You're not old.
I've
yet.
reached full McTallion potential.
It's all relative, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You're
Yeah, I
welcome.
was supposed to be, when we had a 35 year reunion.
So what we'll have to do is pull the
But it was like
the meatballs and just chop them up a little bit for the pizza if you want to spread them out.
I don't know, .03.
Look at you.
I had 500 in my class.
Yeah.
So far,
Alright.
37.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said,
Alright.
I'm still coming down.
Yeah, we're
I'm
still
coming down to stay with me.
Does it matter what rack it goes on?
I'm going to try just the middle for now because it's on bake. I want to see how it rises below,
Okay.
and then we'll turn it to broil. We're going to have to fight with it a little bit. See how we have our guinea pig.
Oh,
We're going to see what happens.
For a week.
you'll have to see.
Don't tell us.
Is this Brian's daughter, Sean? Is this?
Is there a doubt?
She has.
Yeah, apparently there is. Come on.
What do you think? I'm getting there.
We're doing that. We're getting there.
I'm trying to think
You know what
of
the
like
difference
coaching.
between a 6-inch pizza and a 10-inch pizza is?
Uh-huh.
About 10 minutes.
What? I'm good.
In the oven. 10 minutes in the oven?
Just keep watching. You'll get it.
I need an adult. I'm confused.
Look at that.
Alright, now throw it.
Dave Jahowski.
Work.
You know what, Dave? I don't think
Now
anybody
we're
would
gonna
call you
start
just
doing
Dave. Wasn't it always Dave Jahowski?
I call me whatever they.
I mean, it was like two names. It wasn't just Dave.
Sean, I watched, but
That's right. You're doing great.
just kind of this, right?
Yep, you can, or you can use your fists underneath, but either way works.
I would have done that.
Either way works.
Because I've seen that on TV so
Guys,
much,
do
you know,
it.
I would
That's
know
the
how to
blind
do
one.
it.
Yeah,
As you get better, you use the like this, but we all want to use our fingers because it's more.
Because it's like you kind of just.
So you probably have
this
enough.
is this is the
Yeah.
fist.
Yeah, so you kind of when you see guys do this.
He hasn't changed a bit, has
They
he?
sort of expand their
Robbie?
hands and it just lets the-
He hasn't changed a bit.
Yes, gotcha. So you're
It's all jerk now, as it was then.
working your way out.
But you are, I think you're good to go.
I think so.
Well done, coach. And this is the dough docker.
So get it up to the edge.
Yep, but don't pinch it yet. Let
Pinch
it
it.
lay over the edge first,
Okay.
and then you sort of just bring it in.
Just
to the-
bring it in a little.
You got it.
Okay.
And
Oh,
then
yeah.
pop it just there you go, because it'll cook differently no matter what.
This is the
And
one
then
that Robbie's having.
Well, hold on.
Skinny girl.
down the Rob, and then yeah, you can. All right, the sausage and meatballs are
I
in.
like cooking. Seriously, I do.
I don't.
Brian's a chef
What do you
too.
have?
Sausage or meatball?
Same thing? One, two. What do you have?
I'll have pepperoni
You
and
wanted sausage or
It's
meatball?
unbelievable. You
pepperoni and sausage.
You always want sausage.
That's right.
Ah,
I like sausage.
That'll work.
Hey, it's on the other side of the sink.
Other side of the sink.
So good.
I'll just do pepperoni and
So
sausage.
the sauce is all the same, yeah?
But I do want
Sauce is
to.
all the same.
I do want to try the meatball.
You don't get silverware in this house, buddy.
I like it. I use my fingers. I'll have your dad use his fingers and feed it to me.
David, be appropriate.
That's like first.
I'm
On the way here,
I'm never going to take you to Rostanura again. You know, straight up.
As
I'm
they
prepared. I haven't been to church in years.
as they say on Comedy Central, too soon, Dave. Too soon.
Never too soon.
Have you heard that Kanye West is a gay fish?
John, that good?
Gay fish.
You're good.
All
I
right.
had not heard that
Have you
one.
not seen
You're
the
good.
South
Cheese
Park
first?
episode?
Yeah, but the cheese, I
He's
put
like,
a little bit more on the inside so it
And
doesn't
another
hurt
one
the
is
sides.
breaking news. Kanye West is a gay
Get some
fish.
sausage and Curtis's here.
Is it a whole episode now?
I already seen that one.
I think you need to. I've only seen 2 South Park episodes. It's the Black Amex one, where like the one kid he's like Jesus, and he's swiping the Black
Give up
Amex card
completely.
game
I'll
on
still go
everyone's
like
debts.
certain
And
days with
I haven't
meatless.
seen that one.
really,
But for the most part, it's just a.
I don't either. But I'll see
It's
you.
It's
So that's
very
very
I was
easy.
assuming he
Sure.
had
blood levels.
Come on, get by your Jahowski.
The outside can help.
around the
Yeah.
outside.
So I tried it.
And then toppings, we got a little bit of meatball left.
Okay.